ASUS made 3 different SSD enclosures. They all serve different purposes, so let's get right into it. An SSD enclosure isn't really something that I really thought I would be going with in 2026, but since storage is so expensive, there's a good chance you have something laying around, or if you're like me, you're bouncing around between so many devices. So I have my Razer Blade here, which has 2 terabytes of SSD, which is great if you're a gamer, but if you make YouTube videos like this, that's not enough. And also, with my ROG Ally X, it's been nice to be able to use the external drive, just so I'm not loading up the storage on this. And if you get a Steam machine, because that thing is so expensive right now, I did order one, I plan on using this with it. So I ordered the 512 gigabyte one, and I'm just going to rely on my 4 terabyte hard drive that I bought a long time ago at a reasonable price. And a bunch of small devices use the 2230 SSD format instead of the normal 2280. So like the ROG Z13 uses a 2230, the Steam Deck uses a 2230. The Steam machine does take either, but instead of buying a configuration with a high amount of storage, this has been just a good option for me. And if you are a MacBook user, and I know there's a whole bunch of ROG stickers on this, this is actually a MacBook. I've been using the MacBook a lot for my video editing, and I guess I'm a bit shamed that I've been using Mac as a Windows lover, but this could be a topic for another video. The reason why I bring up the MacBook is you can't upgrade anything about this laptop, not even the storage. So when I'm gaming or video editing, whether I'm using my Razer Blade or that MacBook that I just put over there, having an enclosure has just been really, really ideal. I'm at the point right now where most of my needs are being met just by having an enclosure. So let's talk about these 3. The first one I want to talk about is the ProArt PA40SU, and this is the most premium one. It cost about $120, and why this is the flagship model is it supports 40 gigabits per second, so it's the fastest interface out of all of the other ones that I'm going to showcase a little bit later on. And the cool thing about it is it's fairly thin and the design is solid. 100% made out of a very high quality aluminum. I would expect no less from the ProArt line. ProArt is a premium line for creators, and ASUS is claiming that this is the fastest professional enclosure out there. It's around 40% more compact than most of the other active cooled 40 gigabit per second enclosures. And that's because it actually has a fan in it and is powered by USB itself. So you don't need additional power to it. And this might not seem like that big of a deal, but I have used some other enclosures by some other companies that have sent me some of their stuff. They got so hot to the touch that you couldn't even touch them. And a few of them that I did have shipped with like an acrylic, like plastic enclosure so your hands don't get burned. You can still have a unibody aluminum interface, but because this is active cooled, it does a great job with that. I'm probably spoiling a lot of the videos, but as you can see from these scratches, which were all caused by me, by the way, this is my most used enclosure. And you might be thinking because it has a fan, it might be loud, but no, it measures at 18.2 decibels, which is pretty much silent. When I test some of my gaming laptops at idle, they're at like 30 decibels and I can't hear them. So 18 decibels to my ears is completely silent. And the ProArt, along with all of the other enclosures here, are completely toolless. And this one is the easiest to open. There's one latch right here. You just press down on it and then it just pops right out. And removing the SSD is also toolless as well too. You can just pop that out, and then when you're ready, really easy to lock back into place. I think one reason why a lot of people are concerned about getting enclosures because they assume that there's some type of complexity to it. There isn't. It's just plug and play. There is one exception, especially when it comes to the ProArt. I had to change around some settings in Windows that I'll get to before I do my benchmarks. So keep that in mind to make sure you get the most speeds. But other than that, it is essentially just plug and play, and ASUS makes it very easy to throw an SSD in there. They're the best at the toolless game. I checked out one of their mini desktops, which was toolless to switch out the components, and their ROG Strix line of laptops are the same thing too, completely toolless. So ASUS is using their R&D in this front to a lot of their products, which is nice. So I'm spending way too much time on the flagship, the ProArt, but if you are a gamer and if you also did want to save a little bit of money, this is the ROG Aiolos, and this one supports RGB once it is connected. And this one comes with like a little band too if you wanted to strap it onto a backpack or something. Really nice. It is completely made out of metal and a very high quality metal. It is a bit rubberized too. It is a liquid silicone rubber over the aluminum. Not only is it grippy, it might help with impact in case that does happen, not guaranteeing that, but it doesn't hold any fingerprints, and it insulates heat so the outside stays touch safe even when it's working hard. And I know from experience, because I have been using this a lot with gaming, it gets a little bit warm, but it doesn't really get that hot. It does about 80 degrees Celsius sustained over 30 minutes. You'll see that there's two little latches right here. You literally just press down in both of them and it just pops open just like that. Very similar to the other one. Very easy to install, though it uses a thumb screw to take the drive on and off. Not a big deal. I haven't noticed that to be an issue, but it's not as simple as the other one. Closing it back in is also very simple too. You just slide it forward from the back and then it just closes shut. Really simple. Nice satisfying click too when it closes. I really do like that. And also this one takes both SATA and M.2 drives. So ASUS is selling this as a gaming drive. Can it actually sustain a gaming load? I did some tests. When I get to the benchmark section, you'll be able to see that. Alright, and last but not least is the ASUS Cobble. This is the lowest cost out of the bunch, but it offers one thing that might be important to you. But first, price, it's about $30. And it's a cobblestone inspired design, generally pocket sized. Because of the shape of it, it just slips in and out of your pocket, and that's been really nice about that. And what makes this one special, it is IP55 rated, which is good enough for splashes. It can get caught in the rain, etc. The IP rating does like specific testing. I'll just put up on screen what that does and what IP55 actually entails. ASUS says that this is toolless, but I kind of have a hard time opening and closing it. It is a thumb screw, so you could open and close it just with your thumb. Though I find with my nails, I have a hard time opening it, so I've just been using like a USB cable and then just like kind of turning it to get it open, and that does seem to work. And once you do that, you can just prop it open. It doesn't spring open as easily as the other ones because they are working within that IP55 rating. And as you can see, there are some rubber gaskets here that do ensure that dust and liquid does not get into the actual electronic component itself. But once you are in here, then it is definitely toolless. The trade-off is the interface. You're only getting 10 gigabits per second, so it's the slowest of the three. But hold that thought, it is the slowest one here, but none of these are slow. So I ran a good amount of testing on these. Okay, so before I get into the benchmarks, when I first ran the ProArt, it was running slow. In some aspects, it was running the slowest out of all of them. It didn't make sense, so I did some research, and it turns out, at least in Windows, you have to go into your device manager and configure some settings. I'm putting that on screen. It's just a few simple steps, and once you do that, then you'll be getting the full speed. So now finally, with that being said, let's just get into the actual benchmarks. So I took the same Samsung 990 Pro. This is a PCIe Gen 4 drive. It's an M.2. This one supports 4 terabytes, and I ran the same test on all 3 of these different enclosures. So I did the 3D storage benchmark first. Because it's not synthetic, it replays actual game activity, loading Battlefield, installing games, recording, moving files, etc. Of course, the ProArt with its highest bandwidth takes the cake here. At 2067, my laptop's internal drive, which is the reference, this is the Razer Blade 16's internal drive, is 1,910. The Aiolos got 1,319, and the Cobble got 1,054. And yeah, the ProArt beat the drive inside of my laptop. I think a lot of it has to do with the 990 Pro just being a better drive than what Razer's putting inside of there. Still, I didn't expect a USB enclosure to beat it in general. And CrystalDiskMark for a raw throughput, and the pattern here is almost too clean. The ProArt scores about 3,700, the Aiolos right at 2,000, and the Cobble just at over 1,000. Each one is maxing out its connection, and notice that the ProArt's 3,717 lands right inside that 3,200 to 3,800 window ASUS said USB 4 tops out at. So all 3 of these are doing exactly what their interface allows. But as a gamer, you might be drawn more to the Aiolos instead of going with something like the ProArt. But do you need to spend the extra money, and can you game on the Aiolos? Well, long story short, yes you can, because I have been gaming directly on the Aiolos. It's been nice to connect my ROG Ally to it, and also when I'm just going back and forth between all of my different laptops, etc., and also my gaming desktops, I don't have to reinstall games from Steam every single time, so that's been nice. But just so you're not taking my word for it, let's do some actual numbers. Most AAA titles want somewhere around 500 and 550 megabytes per second from the storage, and you're getting around 3,500, so you're more than maxed out. The only thing is though, the better drive you get, the loading times might be improved. Thankfully, 3D Mark has a test like that. So Battlefield, Call of Duty, Overwatch, it's right in the mix. Overall, it scores 1,319 against my laptop's internal of 1,910. Not identical, but hey, it's kind of in the same league. And the important part where that gap actually lands, it's load times, not frame rate. Once a game is running, you're not hammering the drive, so your FPS should roughly be around the same. I know storage especially is expensive right now, but if you could find one cheap used, then this could be just a good solution for you if you want to transfer between several different devices like I have. But yeah, I don't know where to take this video from here. I think I covered everything. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll try to have some links down below if you were interested in these enclosures. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye.